Hello everybody. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day to watch this video. I hope you're here watching either because you are a budgeter who cash stuffs or you're interested in learning more about cash stuffing, budgeting. The world is going a bit crazy out there, so if you are looking to save money, reach some goals, I hope that you will stick around. And if you are new, I hope that you'll consider subscribing, as I plan to do a giveaway when I reach 300 subscribers with some various budgeting items that I have acquired over the years, as I want to bless somebody else. And if you are new, I am Deidre. I'm in my mid to late 30s. I work full-time in healthcare, and as you can tell from the money in front of me, I live in Canada. So I hope you'll join me on this journey. And if you are returning, thank you so much for watching and commenting. I love it. I love engaging with you all. So today we're going to be cash stuffing for my first paycheck of September. I am filming this a bit early. I get paid actually a few days after I go back to work. If you are new, I have been off since June. I had surgery at the beginning of June. So we are going to cash stuff this because I have a feeling my energy levels after being on a computer for 8 hours a day, as I haven't really been on a computer at all since June. I've been on for maybe 30 minutes here, 20 minutes there. I have a feeling my energy levels after work are just going to be completely wiped. So I'm filming this a little bit early. So yeah, we are going to cash stuff for some regular expenses, do some savings challenges, and yeah, we'll get into it. We'll count the money first, and let's hope I can do this properly. So I'm just going to set aside the 50 for now, because it always throws me off. I don't know about anybody else, but 50s throw me off. So 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82. So we have 250. 60, 70, 80, 93, 10, 20, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70. So that is correct. That should be 370. So we're going to start out probably with the binder that I always start out with. It's some regular things that I always put money into because it's like an ongoing thing. So first up is hair. It's my hair appointment, which will actually be coming up in the middle of September. I get my hair done between 9 and 11 weeks usually. It just sort of depends. I mainly just get my roots done. So my hairstylist, I pay her cash. It costs me $75, and that includes tax and a tip. So we are putting in $10 today. So we already have enough for one appointment, but I always like to continue to build and always have some money in here so that it can go towards the next one. So we have 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 85, and 90. So that is great. This binder just does not want to cooperate with me today, but that's okay. So we are already started for the next one, which I obviously don't know when it will be, but it'll probably be in probably November. Is kind of just what I'm thinking off the top of my head. Haven't booked it yet, obviously. I always book it when I'm there. So next up we have nails, and I do get my nails done every actually I've been going about four or 5 weeks. And I give my esthetician cash, and it is $30 each time. So we have 10, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. So we already have enough for one appointment plus started on the second one. Same thing I like to do here. If I absolutely had to change, usually I like to keep at least one appointment worth in the nails. That way if something in my budget happened and I couldn't put money in here, then at least I know I would have enough for one appointment. So next up is beauty. I don't need anything right now for beauty, but I always like to put money in here. This is more for bigger beauty items, whether it's my skincare, which I buy most of that from the shopping channel, although I do buy a bit from Sephora, or like a little more expensive. Let's say I wanted to buy a perfume or something like that, that would come from here. If it's a small item like a lip gloss or like a mascara, as I wear drugstore mascaras, then it usually just comes from my spending money. So next up is going to be technology, which is going to get some money. All right, so this one is going to get 10, which I actually think brings us up to another 50. So we might actually swap this out. So we have 200 in the bank, 20, 30, 40, and 50. So that's great. So you know what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to grab a placeholder. Sorry, frog in my throat. And I'm going to set this money off to the side as I will put that back in the bank. And so we have 250 in technology, which is great. I have been sort of putting a little bit of money in technology almost every paycheck just to give it some attention. So next up is going to be giving. I think it's important to give of your time. If you can't give money, you know, people do, you know, some people like to fundraise for different charities. So they might help out depending on what the charity does. I do help out a charity every single, about Christmas time. It's to give gifts to seniors in our community that either have no family or family that lives far away, or they live in potentially like an assisted living facility. Some do live on their own, but they're just kind of the forgotten people. So I have been doing that actually for, I think, 7 years now, and I really quite like it. I love that the person who organizes it messages me like every October and says, hey, we're just getting started on this. When can I pencil you in? So I always find time to go and help with that. So I don't just give monetarily, but we've got 10. So we have 10, 20, 30, 45 in here. And if I do make a donation, I usually like to make it when it's at least $20 or more. So there's that. We're going to come back here and do pets. Pets, I don't have any right now, but my goal is to get a pet in the future when I buy a different place to live. So we are going to be giving it quite a chunk today, but that's okay. We're going to be giving it 25 today, so that is 300. And we already have 200 in the bank. Oh, and I can color this off. So 20, 40, 60, 81. And so we'll get 2 more. So we are already at 300 for that, which is so awesome. I'm quite pleased with that. So we have, see, 50s throw me off. So 50, so we have 200 in the bank, 50, 70, 90, 95, 100. So you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to also put that back into the bank, as I just like to leave that there, and it gains just a small amount of interest. Not a ton, but you know, every little bit does help. So I'm just going to grab another placeholder. So we have 300 in the bank there. So I'm really quite pleased with that. All right. Okay. New home. So this is a new home, a home that I plan to purchase in the future. We are going to be putting $50 towards this today. Actually, it's all electronic, so I'm always using placeholders. And so we're putting a 50, but we have 1, 2, 53. So I'm actually going to swap these out for, I think I have a $300 placeholder, but let me double check. If not, I will grab, no, we do. We have a $300 placeholder, so that's great. I'm quite happy with that. My first goal will be to reach $2,500 for that, but obviously I'm probably going to need more than that, so all right. And we are going to go into our other binder here. Just wanted to see where this was at. Okay. Travel. I'm actually don't have any plans to do any traveling anytime soon, but I do want to just get this up to a nice even amount so that I can put this in the bank. So it's getting 10 today. So okay. So in the bank for travel, we have 50, 60, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. So that's great. I am going to then swap out this 50 for a $100 placeholder. So that is great. Again, I don't have any plans. This is sort of something that I want to eventually do, but it just costs so much money. But I did want to get it up to an even amount there. So night out, I have already booked my next round of yoga that my city puts on. It doesn't actually start until October, but I paid for it as the registration opened a couple weeks ago. So I wanted to get in so that I know that I have a place for it. This round costs $50, and I think the next round, if I were to do it, would cost $60. It was $10 a class. So we are actually going to be putting in $50 today. So we have each one is $250. So $250, $5, $750, $10, $12.50, $15, $5, $10, $15, $20, $25, $30, $35, $40, $45, $50. Sorry, just brain, not braining today. Okay, so we have 50, 55, 60, 65, 70. So that should be enough for the next round, which is great. If I choose to do it. The next round after that round will be for kind of the rest of November into December. I don't tend to like to go out too much in the winter time. Where living in Canada, our roads are not super well maintained, and a lot of people that are driving tend to drive a little bit like maniacs. So yeah, I don't tend to like to go out in the winter unless I have to. I did forget, I am putting $50 into my emergency fund. I should clean this off. I actually am waiting on a tracker from Iris Budgets. It's an A5 tracker, although I don't have an A5 binder yet. If anybody has ever seen Iris's items, which I have a few of her binders, I'll show you. I just love her items. She just makes such beautiful items, and it's a tracker that can sit out of the binder. So I'm looking forward to receiving that from her. So we are just going to mark off 50 here. So we are already at 1,000, but we are adding 50 more. We're not stopping with our emergency fund. So we have 1,050, and this is all done electronically. So that's why we're using placeholders. And then one more item that we're putting a placeholder into. Sorry, I'm just off to the side with my budget, so I'm making sure I'm tracking everything properly. Last but certainly not least, for our binders, we are going to be putting money into our month ahead. And right now we are working on our mortgage, and I am putting $50 into the account. So we are using a placeholder. And we have a 50, so I'm putting 50, but I'm going to swap it for 100. So we have 300 in there, but I'm going to have to do some math. And I don't know where my calculator got to. Oh, there it is. Because each symbol is $30.50. So we have 300 divided by 30.5. So I'm thinking almost 10. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So we are almost able to cross off another one. So, and this is for a month ahead in bills. So what my goal, if you've never seen it, my goal is to purchase a different place, but I will probably purchase a different place and still have my current condo to sell. So I want to have money set aside that I can draw on to help pay for monthly expenses. Instead of having to use my paycheck, so that, I'm just not in the red anywhere. So I have already completed saving for, and it's only the first round, so I plan on doing this at least twice. I already have my cell phone saved up, gas, so driving, my car insurance, some grocery money, my property taxes, a month's worth, my cable internet, my condo fees, as I have to pay condo fees. Yep. And I'm working on my mortgage, and then I will do some money into what I'm just going to call a buffer. So, kind of things that happen that you kind of didn't budget for. Not things like my hair or my nails, because I would still use that money, but just anything that could potentially crop up. So we did that. All right. So now we're going to do our grocery money, our eating out money, and our spending money. And by the way, this is for 2 weeks. So this is not every single week. We have $100 for groceries. So we have 4 20s, a 10, and 2 5s. And we're going to be doing some challenges with this. So eating out is 2 20s and 2 5s, and our spending money is, let's just double check, 3 20s, 10, and 2 5s. Okay, awesome. I'm just going to mark that off on the side so that I know that I've done that. Okay, so first up with, I'm going to set the grocery money off to the side. I do a challenge. It's called Hit or Miss by Bella at Saving Made Simple, fellow Canadian. Absolutely love her. It's always linked down below. She has so many of these. If you love sort of a mystery, sort of, you don't know what you're going to get, these are amazing. So this is the Hit or Miss 1990s classic TV. And what you do is you will scratch, and if you've seen the show, you can make it whatever amount you want. And if you haven't seen the show, you would save again, whatever amount you want. I do, if I've seen it, I save 5. If I haven't, I save 10. So that's what I do for my my eating out and my spending money. So I'm just going to roll a dice, and we're just going to see what number, and we're going to scratch that off. So 1 2 3 4, and I don't have one of those fancy scratchers. I have a quarter. So first up is a scratch off Party of 5. Okay. No, I actually have not seen any of Party of 5, which is quite funny because I watched a program a couple weeks ago, and it was talking about like 90s, well, it was called The Dark Side of the 90s, but it was about basically 90s television, basically teen television, and part of it was about like people talking about Beverly Hills 90210, which I actually own all the seasons. I have not seen every single episode yet. I think I'm on season 7. I just haven't watched it in a while, but they talked about Party of 5 as well. Never seen it. So I know, shame. If you have, definitely let me know down below. I would love to know if you have. And this money is going into the iris binder. Sorry, I'm all over the place today. What I'm doing is feeding this into a mini challenge in the iris binder. I am saving up. Well, I'm probably going to try and do this twice, but I'm going to be saving this money up to help cover when I go off again on, I will have to have surgery again. I'm hoping not until probably at least halfway through next year. I'm at the mercy of the healthcare system, but I'm hoping to give myself time. So I'll need about 1,000, I think. If I'm off for about 3 months, I will be on disability, which is a huge hit to the amount of money that you get. Luckily, my expenses are fairly low. So this is where that money is going. But I'm just going to take out the 20. Okay, what am I doing, Deidre? No, you know what? I will put in the 2 5s. I was like, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to put in the 2 5s or not. So, so we're going to mark off 10 for now. And then we are going to do another one. And I'm going to put this in my purse. This is $40 for eating out. I don't really tend to eat out too much, and if I do, I like to use a coupon, which is usually fast food, and I do sometimes like to go out for lunch with a friend when I'm in the office, but yeah, we'll see. So we'll scratch off another one, see where we're going. Number 3. So you know what, I'll start from where I scratched. So 1 2 and 3. All right. Touched by an Angel. I have not seen the entire series. I have seen some episodes though. So, Roma Downey, what was her name? Was it Della something? Yeah, I have seen a few episodes. So I'm going to classify that, yes, I technically have seen it. So yeah, that is that challenge. So this money is going for spending money, and we have 20, 40, 60, 75. And that's just going to go into my wallet. So I'm going to put in an additional 5. Oh, and I've made a mess here. See, I'm just all over the place today. At least this is laminated, but what a pain in the butt. Okay, so throw the 5 in there. Okay, so next up for the grocery money, I am going to be doing another challenge, not the same challenge like that, but another challenge with the grocery money. I got this from Jen at Budgets and Dreams. So Iris, who made this binder, by the way, Iris Budgets, she does something similar, but what she does is she times it by 10, and then she puts that into her 10K challenge. I'm gonna times it by 5. So if I do have maybe one time where I might need a lot of grocery money, maybe I know I need to stock up on a lot. If I roll something quite high, I might not use it, but we're going to roll a dice, we're going to see, and we're going to times it by 5, and then we're going to put that money into this. So 3. So I'm going to just cross off the 3 there. So that's going to be $15 coming out of grocery money. I am filming this before I do go back to work, but I have been saving my grocery money for most of the summer. I've had to buy some things here and there. I've stayed with my parents. So yeah, but I have been saving my money. So that was 5. 10, 15. Okay, so we have filled this one up already. So this saved the 50. So let me just double check my grocery money. That'll go off to the side. 20, 40, 60, 85. That's correct. So that's going to go in the wallet. And then we have 20, 30, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. So we're going to leave a 10 in here in the front envelope, because we're already starting again, and I will clean this off when I remember to do so. So we are going to mark off, let's find 20 to mark off. So yeah, like I said, this money is going to go towards as a buffer to help me. So when I do go off again, my goal is to obviously not fill a whole bunch of things. I won't be stuffing a lot of extra things. I won't be doing a lot of challenges. Like I say, I hope that this surgery doesn't happen for a while, but it's on my other side. It will be on my right side. So that's my dominant side. So I already kind of know what's going to happen based on what I had surgery, obviously, on the left side. So yeah, yeah. But I'm not going to worry about it now. I'm just going to plan basically for this. And then we are going to put a 10 in here. So the goal is to just have that money. And if I don't need to use it, or I don't need to use all of it, that's actually even better. That's awesome if I don't even have to use all of it. But if I do, then I don't have to dip into my emergency fund for that. So that is kind of why I'm doing it like that. So that's actually really great. So we already have in this binder 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. $100 already, and I haven't started it all that long ago, but that is great. That just helps me breathe a little bit easier. So yeah, all the money is done. All the money is distributed. A lot of money is going back to the bank, which honestly I quite love. So if you made it to this point, I would love it if you would leave a sun emoji. I think that there's a few options for suns, so that way I know you got to this point. And my next video should be my savings challenge, so I hope you'll watch that when it comes out. And I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I will chat with you later. Bye, everybody.